It is the City of Moose Jaw's Notorious Jawcast Video Edition. Craig Hemingway, Communications Manager, joined by our Director of Engineering Services, Bevan Harlton. Bevan, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Craig.
We're going to get to a very important project in the City of Moose Jaw, which is the Thunderbird Viaduct Revitalization Project, and all the details and how we're going to engage our community coming up in just a moment. But we need to start first by something that's taken a lot of your attention here and the attention of Southern Saskatchewan, and we'll see across the country how it plays out with Kraft Hockeyville. You are from the community of Pense, Saskatchewan, and if you can show up your hat that you've got just behind you there, you're a proud member, longtime member of the infamous Pense Flyers rec hockey team. You live in Pense, you commute to the City of Moose Jaw for your work, and I mean, were you born and raised in Pense, Bevan, or just lived there at a young age, or what's your story there?
Yeah, born and raised. We've farmed in that area for longer than I've been alive, so I'm a Pense original.
Is it true that when kids are born, they immediately get taken in the Pense Flyers draft?
That is a secret, my friend. That will stay in the RM.
Well, listen, a feather in the cap to everybody in the community of Pense for being one of the final four in Kraft Hockeyville, a chance at winning $250,000 for the Pense Arena. And I won't say the money's already spent, but you certainly already have it earmarked for upgrades to your rink. So tell us about how you'd spend the money should you win.
The rink's 30 years old. It's like most of our small town rinks here in Saskatchewan. It is the result of many hands putting in many hours of work to keep it beautiful and functioning wonderfully. And it really is a fantastic facility. The issue that the rink's experiencing right now is in its guts. So the plant is running reasonably well. When it's forcing out the brine through the header underneath the lobby and then out into the pipes that run out under the ice, that pipe system is at failure, which means it's still operating reasonably well right now. It's past its service life and it's past its warranty. So I believe it's a 20 or 30 year service life, but that's where that's at. And then the other thing that's happening is that ice is on gravel, and nowadays, more often than not, people are putting the money out to put it on concrete. So the east end of the rink, the heavy clay is coming up, and the pipes are actually sitting on the dirt. And then that's one of those fixes that we can, like anything else, we can plan to get the work done. We can do it in the off season, and we can control the cost, or it runs to failure. And we've all experienced that in infrastructure. Once it runs to failure, you're having to do a reactive fix. We would potentially lose our season, and it just would be a rough one. And it's a real threat to the rink, is that brine system. So that's what the money's going to. I believe the folks on the rink board, the last quote they've gotten is about $300,000. The community since getting that quote in the last, I want to say a year and a half, like not quite 2 years, has raised $106,000. Some of the folks put together a celebrity meal, sportsman dinner. We've had a really successful Chase the Ace event. So the fundraising has been fantastic. We're a couple $100,000 short, and this Hockeyville money would put us over the top.
It's a big challenge, but you referenced the community support. I mean, and anybody from a small town knows exactly what you're talking about there. And that support and spirit has certainly been seen in your campaign to win. Ever since you were announced as one of the final four, there's been a real spirited social media effort to put Pense on the map and get the groundswell of momentum going, that when voting opens on August 14th, I should say, here in just a few days as we record this. That there's plenty of awareness out there, and they've attacked it in several different ways, including with the launch of a mascot. I used to play up to the whole, Kraft Hockeyville. And so we saw this picture floating around on social media from some media interviews that this particular mascot has been giving. I'm going to bring this up here. Now, Noodle Boy is the name of this mascot, does not look totally dissimilar from you.
Yes.
So the question is, are you or are you not Pense Noodle Boy?
Well, you know what? What the heck? I'm going to go on record. I am Noodle Boy. Wow, that felt really good. That felt really good. That was
I bet it's been weighing on you to
yes.
publicly announce this.
Well, once you put that costume on, you can't really tell, can you?
Who created that?
Who created Noodle Boy? Once the fine folks at the rink board got this Hockeyville submission going, and I can't think of who came up with the original, Noodle Boy, but it was actually my wife, Ariane, who took the idea and put it on paper. And once I saw that image on paper, once we saw that image, we knew, oh, we got to do this. Like, there's no way that we can not do this. So she put it on paper, and then the next question was, can you execute? And she said, yeah, I can make this. And then she did. And then from there, I had to put the thing on, and it took its own life. But once, like I said, once she made the thing, there was no longer opportunity for me to back out. It was done. It was done.
Well, it's a marvelous job. Kudos to your wife, and kudos to you for stepping up to become Noodle Boy. And there's some awesome videos you've done with Noodle Boy in action at the rink and in and around Pense that you can check out on the YouTube page and also the Twitter account, Pense Noodle Boy and Pense for Hockeyville. It's all over Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
And YouTube, so certainly check it out there and start voting at Pense. The voting starts fast. It's a short window to vote, starting first thing on Friday, correct? On the 14th?
Yeah. It's Friday 7 a.m. till Saturday 4 p.m. And I really hope it works out for us.
Well, here's what we'll ask anybody who's watching, not only vote, but, share, find the Noodle Boy stuff, all the Pense stuff, share it with your friends and your relatives that are scattered Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC. As you said, you're the only entry west of Montreal. So let's get over half of Canada to get behind this. So share this out of province, so we get those people voting for you as well.
I would say Pense has been a Moose Jaw town from before my time. We've all got memories of coming to Warriors games. We've all got memories of coming in here and playing our own hockey and having the big bad teams from Moose Jaw come out to the Pense rink, and that's a real thing. It's I would say from Pence's side, there's a real connection with Moose Jaw.
Well, vote Pense for Hockeyville starting 7 o'clock on Friday morning, the 14th, and do it right through Saturday afternoon. And we wish you the best of luck with that. And keep following all the Pense Hockeyville stuff on Facebook and Twitter, and keep your voting. We're going to segue from that, Bevan, onto another major project. And we heard some of your engineering expertise lingo come through, even talking about the rink, of course, but Moose Jaw's Thunderbird Viaduct, the 4th Avenue Bridge, as we speak, is undergoing a major assessment. And this is step one in a revitalization project for the 4th Avenue Bridge, the Thunderbird Viaduct. And I guess, there have been many residents, who have pointed to that piece of infrastructure and have identified it, as we all have, as, boy, that needs to be fixed. And why hasn't it gotten paved? Well, in this particular instance, it's not as simple as just a straight paving project, and that's why this revitalization project is underway. So it starts with the assessment this week, Bevan, and then I guess, can you give us a high-level look at where it goes from here?
Yes. Yeah, and well said with the paving. It's not always what meets the eye, especially with a structure like that, a load-bearing structure. Step one is ongoing this week, visual inspections, as well as a number of different inspections going on between a couple of our consultants that we've hired for this project. So that happens throughout this 5-day week. And from there, those folks, our consultant, will have an understanding of what defects exist on the bridge and come up with a variety of options to fix the bridge. Ultimately, this step is called, the short word for it is the preliminary design. So why I'm saying that is by the end of the year, we will have a preliminary design done and preliminary design drawings. And then from there, that preliminary design, we then re-engage another consultant or perhaps the same one and go about a detailed design and start construction next year. Now jumping back to the start again, once this inspection is completed this week, and our consultant has an idea of costs for repairs, what they will do is put together those costs against the extension of service life. So it's comparing that capital cost to how much the life or the service of that bridge will be extended. And they're also, besides the structural, the engineering side of it, they're doing an assessment of it from the heritage side and seeing what pieces can be improved or maintained or what needs to be done to keep that bridge looking beautiful, for lack of a better word. Once we do have an understanding of those costs and the implications on the bridge, we then flip it back to what we're calling a stakeholder engagement. And Craig, perhaps I'd bump that back to you, but I just would take it up to the point where we know we haven't, before we take this to the public, we're able to have an understanding of what exactly the bridge means. What exactly the bridge needs to be fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then the idea will be to engage our residents, in a general sense, and also target certain groups that are key stakeholders in this as well, including emergency services, our own public works in the city of Moose Jaw, area businesses, the South Hill Community Association, and our Heritage Advisory Committee. As you mentioned, it's a piece of history here in Moose Jaw, and as recently as 2017, the frescoes on the viaduct were redone, restored. A new plaque was put on commemorating it as the Thunderbird Viaduct again. So, and the South Hill Community Association helped lead that project. So there are many groups with a great interest in this piece of infrastructure, beyond just the fact that it's a major conduit to get from North Hill to South Hill and back again. So yes, long story short, there will be an engagement process with the public, providing them some of those options and getting their feedback on what where they would like to see this project go and how extensive some of those the investment should be.
Mm-hmm. I think it's an appropriate project to do this step. One, we've laid it out in a way that we have time in completing the preliminary design as a separate and unique step from the detailed design. And two, it's a marquee piece of infrastructure for the city. I wouldn't put forward to the city manager and to council to do a stakeholder engagement on sidewalks or roads, because I think people would just say, just get the sidewalks and roads fixed. But this really is a heritage structure. It's the original structure is 1910, extending in 1919. Further work in 1965, and then another piece of work in 1989. So it's an old structure, and I think it's worth the time.
Well, anything else to add on that? Because again, it is they'll be wrapping up. It'll be open again come the 15th of August, and then we'll have a bit of time to get that report, and then there'll be some engagement pieces happening. You'll hear more about them by the end of August, and we'll have that all underway. So, anything else to add on that?
It'll be end of August, back to us, back to engineering, and then back out to the public and the council this fall. Yeah.
Okay, terrific. Bevan Harlton, Director of Engineering Services for the City of Moose Jaw, also known as Noodle Boy, as he promotes Pense for Kraft Hockeyville 2020. We look forward to seeing all the new videos and some fun. I know you guys have planned for when the voting starts. There'll be some other things going on, so watch the Facebook page, Pense for Kraft Hockeyville, right?
Yes, sir. And thanks for your time, Craig. And on behalf of Pense, we'd want to thank Moose Jaw for sure.